Hello.
Happy Friday.
Happy sunny Friday.
Woohoo. And it's supposed to be sunny all weekend, I think, or at least nicer. So
Yeah,
I'll take
it's
it.
a little chilly, but I don't mind that as much when the sun is out. I'd rather sunny and cool than overcast and anything.
Really, anytime I have a jacket, I'm thrilled. So
Yeah,
if the day's that sunny and I go outside expecting it to be
I don't know if Danielle is glitching everywhere, but she's frozen on my screen. So
hello.
Now I hear you. Oh, there you are. Now you're moving.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know what's going on today.
It's a time warp.
I said that any day I could go outside without a jacket.
Yes, I agree. So I never know when somebody's freezing on a Zoom meeting, whether I'm frozen or whether they're frozen. So we are having a few technical difficulties today, and it could be on either side. So I'm just going to apologize in advance. If you're joining us, and of course you're joining us, if you're joining us live, drop a comment in the comments and tell us who you are and where you're from. We are in Chicagoland, and I think most of our audience is, but we tend to sometimes talk about things that are hyper local. And so if we've got visitors from other places, we want to be able to include you. And Danielle disappeared. And make sure that we're talking to you too. So drop a comment, say hello, and tell us where you're from. I'm in Naperville. Danielle will presumably be joining us again momentarily from Plano. And here she's coming back.
Hey, I'm on my phone now.
All right.
Sorry about that. All right, so we were going to talk about agent cooperation today, right? So we want to talk about some of the pros and cons. Well, I don't even think there's cons, right? I think that a lot of people think that if you're friendly with the adversaries on the other side, that you're not a shark. You're not, you're doing them a disservice. And, this is the week we like to talk.
We know the exact opposite is true.
Absolutely. Right. Hardball. Nobody likes to see people trying to be a jerk just to be a jerk. We brought this up last week, I think, about trying to we're all in this together type of situation when it comes to both sides. And, it's that when things are brought up, then you start seeing it more and more and more. And I think that's what happened this week for us, whereas we kind of brought it last week and then we experienced it in some of our transactions.
On both sides.
On both sides, right, as representing sellers and representing buyers, that we're seeing that, that I had a client who picked an offer because it was a strong offer. Don't get me wrong, very strong offer, but it was because there was communication, really strong communication from the agent on the other side. We had a really good feeling about it. We knew that they were going to be there to, really make this a good, smooth transaction. And then since then, Ruth and I have both come across non-personal experiences where others are saying, listen, everybody thinks that going 20, 30, 15, whatever over offer is what's going to win it. And people are saying my sellers aren't doing that. My sellers aren't picking that. It's not always.
Well, you still have to make the appropriate price offer, but it's not solely based on that. So
correct. Well, that's what I'm saying.
You can't go in, $50,000 under list and expect that just because they like your agent, they're going to pick you.
Agreed. I'm saying that when things are relatively equal, or there's, just a little bit, again, closing date being the 12th of April to the 16th of April. I mean, yes, maybe if people want to get out, but in the end, the 4 days aren't going to usually make or break it. So it's when things aren't at make or break conditions, then it is, it's one of those perks that makes a difference.
And Danielle and I have enough experience selling, I don't know, a couple hundred houses, that we know what it's like to go through a transaction with an agent on the other side who isn't doing their job and isn't pulling their weight. And there are, by design, just automatically going to be hurdles in a real estate transaction. That's natural forces. And those need to be navigated. We have a lot of experience doing that, so we're well acquainted with it. But doing that with someone who is pulling in the same direction versus someone who either seems to be working against you or just isn't working at all on the other side of the transaction is really what's going to either get you to the closing table or it's not. So when we get a phone call, especially from another agent who can assure us that all of those steps are going to be taken and that they are going to be on top of their side of the process, then we're much more confident that we can not only put this deal together, but keep it together. And when you have agents who are not working together, that doesn't do anybody's client any favors.
No. I mean, recently I had I received an offer and it went to spam and never got a call from the agent. Luckily, I found it very quickly because another agent called me and I was looking for their offer. They did not win, the offers, but 3 days later, after I got back to that person and said, sorry, we didn't accept it. 3 days later, I got a phone call from somebody from that agent's office going, what's happening with our offer? Did I let you guys know 3 days ago? It's a disconnect that I'm like, ooh, I'm glad we didn't choose, that my seller decided to go in a different way. Because if it takes them 3 or 4 days to follow up on an offer and, when houses are going in 24, 48 hours in some cases.
And technology is not infallible. You don't send a really important email and not have another specific touch to reach out to the person who, should have received it to find out whether they did or not. Right. That's just negligence.
Correct. But the way we get out there, right, prior is we have other relationships with agents. We don't know everybody on every side. Sometimes you just kind of know their name. Sometimes you know them in person. But Ruth and I, we're part of a larger community. We have the other EXP agents in the area that we get to know from our various platforms and meetings and things like that. But then outside of that, we've also garnered a great system that is something I really think is great, which is for another 15, I'll say 15 or so agents in the area. And we do a broker's tour once a month. And, it's really been, we've had plenty of realtors say how invaluable we all find it for our clients, because either it gets early eyes on a property where we can make different tweaks before it goes on the market based on other agents going like, no, we really,
input.
Their input. We've had others really help. Last one we were on, they were saying, oh, thank you so much. The one we went, but that you guys really helped me price it. And once I priced it, it went fast. It was so great. It's that cooperation. We're working, there are people.
And these are all, good agents who have the same kind of mentality and goals in mind. If you're joining us, by the way, make sure you drop a comment in the comments so we know who you are and where you're from.
Questions you might have.
Oh yeah, questions.
We're always open for questions.
And even if you're watching this later, not live, go ahead and comment and and ask any questions you have. We will keep an eye on it and respond. So building those relationships across brokerages, across towns, areas, we're in a weird business where we have to collaborate with our competitors. And a lot of people don't do that well. They're either competitive or they're collaborative. We work really hard because those relationships that we build and those reputations that we have are what ultimately help our clients. Hi, Kathy. Kathy's in Romeoville.
Hey.
Those relationships are what ultimately help our clients. So if we were the sort of people who went around, not treating people well or fairly, and then in this sort of an environment, we tried to put an offer in for one of our clients, if somebody's got 12 offers and you say, well, this person was a jerk to me, and didn't do their job and didn't, get to the closing table, then that's going to put our clients at a disadvantage. So besides just being the right thing to do, it really, playing the long game, works out best for our clients. So our clients don't tend to be the sort of people who want anybody else's throat cut either. So that's helpful. But we're saying this because we encounter it on the other side all the time.
Or I think that people, there are certain situations that people start to feel like they should be, and I'm not talking about agents. I'm talking about buyers and sellers. They hear things, especially buyers, right? They hear the HGTV going, oh, this is not up to par. You need to, oh, well, they're asking this. You must offer $90,000 less because it clearly needs, that much work. So I think they start thinking that they have to play, people have to play hardball.
Or just what's the definition of negotiation? We see negotiation again as collaboration. What's most important to you and what's most important to our side, and how can we make those two fit together? Not how can I, screw you out of another dollar.
Right.
And we have taken lots of additional education to learn negotiation techniques, but again, it's not manipulation techniques. It's not how to get over on someone. It's how to listen, how to really get to the core of what everyone is looking for, and that's what makes us really good negotiators. That and understanding who has the strength in this situation, and how do we still advocate for the person who does not.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yes, because a short-term win, we're always looking for the win-win and other people to play in that win-win, because a short-term win is not necessarily a great win or a long-term win. You could possibly get that, small thing fixed, but it doesn't necessarily, or ask for that small thing to be fixed, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the other side's going to, go for it. And if they do, maybe there's something bigger in the future that you don't get. It's
right. And if you want to dig your heels in on that little thing, then you might be missing something in the bigger picture that could be more important to you. So our job is to see the whole picture, advocate in the best way for the long term, and that is, again, something that we've developed over the years as the right way to do it from an ethical standpoint, but also the thing that ultimately gets our clients most of the time what they want.
Right. And then
exactly, Kathy.
I can't see the chats.
Oh, sorry. Kathy Tully says we need to get out of that mentality that everyone is out to get us. We all need to step back and be realistic. Yes, if you're looking at everybody like they're out to get you, then your first instinct is to strike. And believe us, in a real estate transaction, that is not going to get you anywhere, really. There are agents who have reputations that in a time when you don't have a lot of choices, that might work. But right now, sellers particularly have a lot of options. So you should be working with, well, you should be working with us. But if for some reason you're not working with us, then make sure you're working with a realtor who understands this and who reaches across.
And that is actually good segue. I was trying to figure out how to, because there was one more point I wanted to bring up, and that was the not only do we work locally closely with realtors in our markets, we also have a community that we use across Illinois. We have a community across the United States. So that is another thing that I'm not sure if people understand. And as we know, in Illinois, we have a lot of people who are looking to move out or, move into different areas. Chicago residents are looking to go into the suburbs. Well, not everybody in the city works in the suburbs. Not everybody in the suburbs works in the city. So we have that collaboration. And so that's something that we could also help you with, is that even if you can't use us, we are happy to.
And don't blindly just reach out and pick an agent that you know nothing about, that research is fairly difficult for the average person to do online. Yeah. We have ways of getting to the core of how good an agent is. So if we don't have a current relationship with somebody in that area, and chances are we do, we have the tools to find somebody who will really perform well and do a good job for you. So always reach out if you are looking to buy someplace other than here.
Absolutely.
Don't think we can't help you.
Yes. Yes. So we're very happy to help always. Always. Don't think you're bothering us. Don't think we are excited to help guide and get you on the right path, no matter where that's at.
And also, even if you're not buying and selling, do you need a painter? Do you need flooring in your house? We've got a really great flooring person right now. So reach out to us. And and again, when we talked about this last week, when we're dealing with vendors, they're looking at us knowing that, it's probably not going to be a one-off job. If they do a good job for our clients, we're going to have the ability to recommend them again and again. And it's just human nature to, step it up a little in that situation. So, all right. Well, thank you very much. It was good to see you again. Oh, no, we didn't see you. You saw us again. Was it good to see us again?
Hope it was.
And we will see you next week for Putting the Real in Real Estate.
Take care. Have a great week.
Bye. Enjoy the sunshine.